Welcome back, everybody, to Hurley's Hobbies. In this episode, we're going to continue on the fuselage. Let's get it building. All right, before that, we got to put these braces in. So I'm going to do that first. Get these marked and done. That was pretty good. I got both of those exact the first time, so that's not too bad. Not too shabby. All right, everybody. So I am gonna epoxy F3 to the back of the firewall. It has you put a line on it, and I put a line across here, and I'm gonna put a stick back behind of it and epoxy that in right now too, to help hold it to the firewall. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Now we just gotta let that set up. All right, everybody, we got this, I got this set up here. I have it stacked on top of some wood down here. I took all the pieces from some of the scrap rounds and I glued them together and stacked them up on top of some of the wood that's for the sides and stuff of the front. And I set them on it. And it came out to be the perfect height. You take a square and set a square against the front. I got it weighed down inside. And you set this in there. And by the time you get it in there, with the spacers down here, everything should be right where it needs to be. Right there. You center it in between the two. So I'm gonna epoxy this, and then I have some 3/8 by quarters. It doesn't tell you to do this. It's something I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna glue them up underneath here. Just keep in mind that you have some other blocks that are gonna go on later that the wire go through. They got a hole drilled in them. Let me grab it. This right here, it's got a hole. And the wires that come through these, I drilled a couple of holes here. I might have done that off camera. And I'll give you a picture of it later. I just used my Dremel and ground it out so the wires will pass through. And these actually go, I gotta cut this in half. And this will actually mount inside of here after this piece is in. And the wire, you insert your wire, get it in position when you get the roof on. And this goes in here. So just keep that in mind, that this might be a little bit lower because these are in here. But since I'm putting a big motor than this plane was designed for, or they had it for, that's why I'm epoxying all of this together and putting extra in it. So let's start epoxying. I have a piece of paper towel down here, just in case any drips. Now I already did my motor mount, put my blind nuts in. I did that off camera because depending on your motor, They have an X in it already. You got to figure out your motor. I dropped mine down a quarter. You can drop it down a quarter if you need to. It even says it in the plans to make your motor work. So I did. So my motor mount is actually a quarter down. Would like to clamp this, but you got to keep in mind that your make sure it stays where it's at while it's drying, because this is 15-minute epoxy I'm using, not 5-minute. I do have 5, but I don't. It's brand new and I don't want to open it. So you check on your fuel tank. Your fuel tank is going to go through here. So that's why I didn't run it all the way across, because the fuel tank's going to go in there. And my fuel tank is like just the size of the opening. The fuel tank is not provided. I'm still square in front, like exactly square where it's supposed to be. It's in line this way, even on side to side. I may have to re-drill those holes back out again before I put the sides on. I'll check it, make sure my wire still passes through. Sorry if it's shaking, but there it is, level with the top. Clamped underneath. Square with the front. Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. we're building the Piper Cub today. There's a couple things I want to explain what I did. So before, when you got this still level, you still are square. You still got your square here. I took and put a quarter piece of balsa in here. I tacked it. Tack glued it with NCA. It's just a quarter by quarter. Let me turn it here. And I tacked it across in there so I can take it out later. That way this stays perfectly square and doesn't want to move around on you. So then you can move it. You know, you can move it around it and it stays right straight true. So, and why I had that, I went in here and I filled these in. Just up to the top, put little fillers in them. I used hardwood. Same with this side. I did this one. I put some balsa 3/8 by quarter back here on this former and just ran it up to the top of this and angled it. And same thing down here, I angled it. The front here, see if I can spin it around here. Here, I ran it the other way because this is harder. So I ran quarter by 3/8 this way and glued it in. Okay, I put back up here to the front. I doubled this. This is actually a piece of quarter right here. I put a piece of quarter on there. And I put another piece of 8 by, it's supposed to be quarter across here and went around this back here. And I went around that back there to help strengthen it. This side, I put a piece of quarter by 8 by quarter and just ran it down this side. So then when you're looking at it from the front, they look the same, but you can see this is only an 8 by quarter. This side here didn't really, you know, I didn't add no extra strength. So that's what I did. But you can see the quarter in there. And my window, I shaved this a little bit right here. Shaved that a little bit. So it would come in and fit flush. Fits in there like it's supposed to. Okay? So that's, I got that all done. That's it. Let me think real quick. Okay, so before I close this up here, I gotta come back with my Dremel and make a hole through there again. Make sure that these holes are open back up and make sure the wire passes through them. So that's what I'm gonna do next. And then we're gonna get on to putting this bottom piece in and I'm gonna show that to you. All right, everybody, it's gonna do it for this video. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe and hit that little bell. We'll see you next time.